We're starting with our live video from Deanne Fitzpatrick studio, and it is Thursday, January 21st, and we're just waiting for everybody to come online with us. We usually have a couple of hundred people come out, so we're excited. I'm always excited on Thursdays to see everybody and talk to you. I'm going to show you that big rug over there that I just finished. I've been in there working away. I'm going to talk to you about the background. We have Marlene Louise Rippey, and we have Vicky Landrigan, and we have Louise Rommel. Hi. Ann Burton is here from Kingston, Ontario. I'm going to have a good look at my antlers here. I'm going to go right in. Look at that. That came out so good last week. Hi, Susan Sutherland and Susan Trotter and Pat Jacqueith, Joni Black, here you are, hello, and Karen Hawthorne. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to just give you a little scan of the studio. It's kind of fun to see it. You can see some of my art books. A little scan of the art books there. Always nice. There's the rug, a nice big rug up there. And Shannon Carter's here from Delaware, and Jane Smith's here from Ontario. And right now, we're going to go out. I'm going to pass this over. And Linda Smith from Fenelon Falls. And here I am with Angela and Joe. And I'm going to pass it over to Ange. Hey, Ange.
Hi.
There we go. And Joe, I want to talk about your rug.
Okay.
What are you up to here, buddy? So this is a pattern from the studio, isn't it? This is the woman at the flower shop?
Well, I call it Deanne at the flower shop.
Well, Joe, you've made me very bumpy.
You got an apron on.
I've got an apron on. Yeah, I love this. This is my favorite of your rugs so far, I think. Though I really did like the wave one too. But you really play with texture in your rugs.
Yeah, it's like I kind of get lost when I'm doing them. And put it in, rip it out, put it in, rip it out, lay it down, pick it up.
Do you do it in the day or the night?
Normally daytime.
Normally daytime, yeah.
Yeah, it depends how much the dogs interrupt.
My favorite thing in this rug is this roof, because it reminds me of so many roofs in Cumberland County. Don't you feel it?
Yeah.
Probably New Brunswick too, where you grew up.
Yeah. And I found this one, there used to be a little cafe in Linden.
Yes,
that was red.
I know the one.
Yeah.
Franny used to run it for a little while.
Francesca.
Well, no.
Franny or Francesca?
Yeah, Hubbard. Franny
Okay.
Hubbard used to run it for a little while. Yeah.
France Deli and Amherst.
France Deli and Amherst, Art of Eating. She's on our podcast if you want to get some sauce. And I love the bins. You made all the bins orange. You know, I would have been thinking gray for that.
Well, I was thinking terracotta.
Oh, you were thinking terracotta.
Because most of our pots are clay for water retention.
Yeah, right. And tell me why you striped the, you used a few different wools here.
Yeah, well, one's a solid wool. The other one is a tweed from here, a red tweed. And when I was doing it, I was thinking of board and batten, because that's what we used to have in our house.
Right.
But I did it linear to give it height.
Yeah.
Going this
and
way.
it does. It gives it a lot of height. What's going on up here in the window?
That was actually in your pattern, and it was a stained glass piece that was right at the very peak that was up there.
It looks like a rose the way you've got it made now.
Yeah, well,
I like it.
That kind of reminds me of the Victorian stuff I see in Fredericton.
Yes.
But yeah, and this was a different type of rasta I found called unicorn.
Right.
They can't hear you guys.
Oh, they can't hear us?
We don't have the speaker right here.
Oh, we don't have the speaker. Oh, that was a different type of rasta. I'll go.
Can you hold this up?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go
Nice.
get the speaker. Try not to squeak.
I can hide behind it.
There we go.
Very nice, Joe.
Joe, it's a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a really good job on it. Are you pleased with it?
Oh, yeah.
How do you rate it you've made 4 rugs, right?
6.
6, okay. How do you rate it in your 6?
I still think my Words and Waves from Christmas was probably more my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I mean, I'll go to somebody that I know is having a birthday next month.
Oh, who was it for? Can't say.
Well, she's not on. There's my older sister. She's turning 60 next month.
Oh, okay.
Actually in March.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought she lives just in New Brunswick across the border, and kind of thought I'll give it to her.
Oh, that's a good gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how was it doing the writing?
Citrus that we have here.
And you did a high contrast.
Yeah.
Really? Big high contrast.
Yeah, because most signs, like if you're out somewhere, they're going to have a contrast in the lettering.
Yeah.
So you can actually read it.
Yeah. It's really nice.
But
You did a good job.
It was fun to do. I'm glad I got it done, and now on to another one.
On to another one. What are you working on now?
As we discussing and trying to actually design my first landscape, so
Yeah.
it's probably going to be, I think it's going to be Linden Fields.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Which is right
Yeah.
across from the Northumberland shore. You can
Yeah.
actually see PEI from there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to gather photos over the next several months and actually look at the winter, the spring, summer
Yeah.
before I actually do it.
Yeah.
So, but I may do another individual one. Easter's coming, so
Yeah. Might just do a little bunny or something.
I'm going to have to do bunnies. I have the bunny
Yeah.
pattern from here for the
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah. So you might do that for them for
Yeah.
Easter. Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Well,
fun.
thanks for showing us.
It's not as good as yours.
It's really good. I never hooked. I don't think I hooked this one. You're doing great.
No, I'll just keep.
I mean, I've been hooking for 30 years.
I'll keep
Like
adapting
you've
the
been
patterns.
hooking for a year, and I love how you're adapting the patterns and you're not afraid to make any changes, and you're kind of fearless with them, and I think that's awesome.
Well,
I think
like
you're
you
doing
said,
great.
You make an error, just rip her out.
Rip her out and start again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that way.
Yeah, it is good that way. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody should be afraid to rug hook.
No,
It's calming and it's settling and it's a lot of reflection you put into it. I find.
I find that too.
You
I love that part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah.
So often we don't want to change your mind.
I know, but you got to be a little fearless. You just got to sort of say, okay. And you got to be willing to waste a bit of time. Like, well, tell them about the background, your other rug.
Oh yeah, the background on the other rug, the big page.
He did this big paisley part. Yeah.
And I brought it in and I showed it to Deanne, and Deanne's looking at me and I'm looking at her and I'm going, yeah, that green just doesn't cut it, does it? She's going, no.
No. He had used all our variegated yarns, like a lot of different variegated yarns. So it was really high and intense color. And then you sort of put a sage green, which you
Yeah.
think it might have been okay, but it lost all its energy.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. So I ripped her all out Monday night.
Yeah.
Put her back in the frame and I'm
Yeah.
going to do it in that off gray charcoal
Yeah.
and get it done again.
I think it'll be really nice in the dark gray. I can't wait to see it. We should have taken a before and after for here. Would have been really fun. Do you have a before picture?
Parts of it.
Yeah.
Parts of it. Yeah. I have parts of it. It's on the book and it's from a couple months ago, but it'll hook up better with a bigger wool.
It will. It will. And it just needs, I don't know, sometimes black is just the right color.
Yeah.
I love black.
It's the contrast.
Yeah, it's the contrast. Anyway.
But yeah.
All right, what else are we going to talk about today? Come on in, and I'm gonna fill you in what we're going to do today. Let me see here. I write it all down in my book, and we're going to talk about. Oh, someone wanted to talk about changing directions in hooking, and so we can talk about that. People get the feeling that you can't move the shetty camp around, and so I'm going to talk about how I do that, and we're going to talk about the background of my caribou rug. So I'm going to sit and hook for a few minutes before we get into that. And I just want to show you a new yarn. It's a wrapped silk that I've been using. And we have it on the website now. And I have it in very soft colors. I really, really like it. I started hooking with it yesterday. When we got it in, we were wondering, oh, what's that like, you know? So it's sari silk, but it has a thin wrap around it. And so I quite like it. It has a cord-like feeling to it. So that is on the website now, if you want to go on and have a look for that. And we did get a new sari collection in too, which I didn't bring in to show you. I should have, but I forgot, to be honest. We just got excited to see you. So I'm hooking the background on this caribou. Now, choosing the background was interesting for me because I wanted it to be really natural feeling. So when I put blue sky in here, it just wasn't doing it for me. So I'm kind of chosen this color because I want it to feel like tundra. I want this caribou to sort of be in a kind of a natural looking environment. So I laid down a lot of different colors here for the background, and this was what I could come up with. So I'm just going to talk to you about hooking in different directions. A lot of times, I mostly like to hook towards me. That's what I really like. But it's not, the hooking in different directions is really about where you move your hook. So this hand is the hand that decides where you're going. And if whatever place you move this hand in, whatever direction you move this hand in, then that's the direction you'll be hooking in. So when I put my hook down, I'm going to move my hand towards me. And then I'm going to move my hand over. So when I want to turn around, I just go over one loop. I want to come back, I go over and bring it back. And that's just basically how you change directions. Now there is another way. I'm just going to get you to move back a bit, Angela, and so that if you go back a ways, then I can do this. So when I'm sitting and hooking, like I said last week, when I'm showing you something quick, I might sit here like this for a few minutes, but normally I'm sitting way back there. This is the other way to change direction. I always make sure that on my Shetty Camp frame, I have pads on the bottom of it. And then, so you can turn your frame. When you get to the edge of it, you can also, sometimes I'm just going to slide it. I have like furniture pads on the bottom, so it slides really easily. And if I want to get right to the corner here, then I'll often put it on an angle, and I'll still lay my back right straight back here. So again, let's see about changing directions. So once years ago, a couple of students at different times have said to me, you're not allowed to turn your frame. You're not supposed to turn your frame or your hoop. Now that to me doesn't make any sense at all. A rule like that is, as a hard, fast rule, is constraining. Of course you can turn your frame. You can turn your Shetty Camp frame. You can turn your hoop. It's meant, you're not supposed to strain yourself. You're meant to bring it to you. It's yours. It's your tool. And you can turn it any way you like. And yes, you can absolutely turn your frame. You can also just move your hand in the direction you want to go. So here we are, and I've got my loops going down. So now I'm just gonna, when I change, there will be a little twist underneath, but it's fine. Doesn't matter, it's okay.
Deanne, I may have to go under the frame.
You can.
Do you mind?
No.
Someone is asking to see it.
Yeah. So I'm going up. Now I'm stopping. And I'm moving my hook over. And I'm turning. I think sometimes we think maybe too much about something. And instead of just doing it. So I say to you, like if we look at this area up here, when Angela comes back up, I'm going to change my yarn here. This is a union yarn that I'm using here now. It's great for backgrounds, a lot of tan and gray in it. So if I told you you have this area, it's outlined. So like, let's just take an area. I'm going to just draw a little area for myself, okay? And now I'm going to fill that area in. That's going to be my mark. Okay. So I put my hook down. I'll go up. Come down. Join this together. So I'm going in all different directions all the time. And I'm not thinking about turning or changing. I am just changing by letting my right hand, and the hand that I hold my hook in, take the lead. So there isn't a lot of technique to it. It's more about relaxing and not feeling that you need to. I'm going to go outside that area because that's just what I'm like. I want to go down here and join these together. Okay, so that's the hooking and the turning of the frame. Every week we talk about some little thing that will make it easier for us to hook rugs. So I'm going to add some more of that wrapped silk in here. And I'm going to take that wrapped silk, and you're going to see me go down. See what a nice contrasting texture it is? So it feels silky, but it's firm. But it's not thick and heavy. It's just firm. So then I'm just following the line. And that's the other thing about turning. If you if you're worried about turning and you just want a little activity, just draw a line on your background like this and make it wavy like that, okay? And then I'm going to bring in another line, another yarn. This is Merlin, and I like it because it's variegated too. I'm going to double that. You can see that yarn right here. It's pretty nice. Joe did a great job on his rug. Okay, so now we're going to go up here, and we're going to bring our ends up, the two ends. Pull those down, not to waste the wool. And then, so now, because I'm just going to follow that line, and in following that line, I learn to turn, because the line is directing me.
Does the same technique apply to wool strips?
Same technique is exactly, it makes no difference. I used a wool strip over here. It's exactly the same. Yeah. So what do you guys think of all of that now? Do many of you have trouble turning? Is this a thing that a lot of people are struggling with? Or, you know, it's not just a beginner thing. It's so much rug hooking, and we talk about it a lot in the harbor. But rug hooking is a lot about letting go. And, you know, the one thing I'm loving about the harbor, it's done now, but for this year, you can't join. I mean, it's not done. It's just beginning. But you can't join now. But one of the things I'm loving about it is that I've seen such progress in the people who were in it last year and some of the rugs that they're posting this year. Like incredible growth in their work. You know, style developing. And so I think it's really good not to think too much about all the little things, and to think about the big things, to think about the big questions, and that's what I try to get people to do in the harbor, and to sort of, you know, if you want to do something, if turning your frame feels good to you, then turn your frame, turn it as much as you want. And if hooking with yarn feels good to you, then hook with yarn. If hooking with cloth feels good to you, then hooking with cloth. But try to just stay open to possibility. So I've been looking at a lot of painters who are using heavy outlines. And I want to show you where that's led me. And this is not bound yet. Norma, if you're watching, I've got a nice big rug for you to bind. Norma Milner's my neighbor. She used to work here. And she binds rugs for us. So I'm going to show you this rug. I might have to step back a bit, Ange. I'm going to move my chair over here.
Your mic.
My mic is all twisty. Sorry about that, folks. Not used to having a mic. We ordered some lights, too, for you. So we'll have better lighting, didn't we, Ange? We're hoping they'll work. So, this is, I don't know what this is called, but it's the river. It's the river and the river bed. And I live very close to a river. And I live very close to the Nepean River. And a river is an ever-changing thing. So this is my latest rug. And the thing I like about it is all that heavy black outlining, and which I don't usually do in field rugs. And I like that moving sky of all those cumulus clouds. If I was to do it again, would I do it differently? Yes, there's little things I'd change about this right now. But does it matter? No, because it's like, it's not the last rug, God willing, I'm going to do, you know. We're always growing in our work. But I really do love some things about this. I love a lot of the different textures. I used a lot of rasta in here, a lot of rasta down the side. But look at the contrast. So you have this nice thick caracol and rasta. And then up here, I use like, you know, kind of like we sell lichen and lace in a worsted weight, or cascade in a worsted weight. And Joe was sort of saying, that cascade is too fine for hooking. And I said, no, Joe, it isn't, because when you use that, it looks like I'll use two or three strips together sometimes. And then what it does is it gives you a very strong contrast. So like, let's look at that contrast here. You have that nice, big, thick, hand-dyed wool here, and it is 4-ply from Briggs & Little against sort of a cascade yarn, you know, that we've hand-dyed here in the studio. Or no, this one isn't. We didn't dye this in the studio, I don't think. But like the weight, you see. So this is like a knitting weight, a worsted weight, and this is a really chunky weight. And once they're up against each other, it makes the rug incredibly interesting. And that's close up. And now just go back from a distance, Ange, and see that. And you do see, like, that's why it's important to use different widths and different chunkiness. And there is some cloth in this rug. We've used some jersey up here. And I used some pale green cloth and some pale blue cloth. Like, there's a little bit of cloth over here. And there's some gold cloth right here. Lots of gold cloth up here. And this is a sweater that I cut up, burgundy sweater. And there's some blue cloth in the sky. So it's a real mixture. And you'll notice that the outlining in here, there's deep plum, there's deep blue, and there's black. So those are some lessons today. What did we talk about overall today? We talked about Joe's rug and about being comfortable, trying different materials, and he was using lots of different materials in his rug. We talked about how the roof of his house or his flower shop looked so much like the sheds that we see around here all the time, and we talked about how he made the board and batten. So there's a lot of texture talk today. We talked a bit about how to switch directions. We talked about our new yarn, the rolled sari or the sari cord, and I think it'll be on there as it's on the website as what's it called? Do you know, sari?
Is it the summer collection?
No, we do have a new collection, a new summer collection of sari that I'll show you next week. But it is up there. But this cord sari, I forget the name of it. Isn't that terrible? Anyway, but it is on there now on the website. And then I talked about using heavy outlines and we talked about turning your frame and hooking in different directions. So that's it. I do have something to tell you. Now this, if you want it, I think I have five, perhaps 6 sets of them. And I haven't been able to get them for years. And I don't know if I'll be able to get them again. And they're expensive. But if you want them, I do have, John, my neighbor, has agreed to make 6 sets of these, the longer rods for the Shetty Camp frames, so that you can do bigger rugs on your Shetty Camp frames. And I think he said up to 5 feet is what he can do. And they're $3.29, and that does not include your gears. And that is just for the rods. So if you have an existing frame, you can order a set of these. You have to call and order. And like I said, they're up to, I think, 54. I think he said he can do 54 inches or something like that. I don't know, but it's quite an extension on your frame. So if you want one, you have to call the studio and pre-order. They're $329, and you just take the gears off your other set and put them on here, or you can order a separate set of gears for them if you want. And what he does is it's all handmade. So if you look at this right here, you can see he glues all the pieces together, right? And then he has a special lathe that he uses to create a dowel. And John is a friend of Grant, so Grant has approved them and said they'll work. And so we do have 4 sets. The other thing is we can't ship them because they are so long. They're pick up in studio only. So if some of you want a set, I mean, you can pick them up this summer. We can put them away for you if you want. You just call, order them, and you can pay Joe for them or Angela over the phone. And I don't know when I'll have them again. And for those of you who asked me about them 2 months ago or so, I'm sorry. I didn't know that I would have them again. But we were able to, John decided that he'd like to try and make them. So that's it for me for today. Got anything else to tell everybody, Angela? Anything else? Oh, the online course. We're still taking... I'm going to go get the rug for the online course. The new online course. And I just want to tell you something about that. I'll be right back.
Well, we'll have a look at the rug again. Isn't it gorgeous? She hooked this rug in about a week. It's incredible how fast she is. It's just gorgeous. And we were discussing what she was going to do in the background. On this one, on the caribou rug.
Sorry.
We were initially thinking blue, but now we are thinking more earth tones. So I'm really liking the earth tones. I thought the blue might be.
So we are completely sold out of the complete kits for the online course. So, but we do have texture packs available, and the rug will be 16 by 24. And I just want to remind people that you can buy the course only. You can buy the course only. It's $99 until January 25th, and then it goes up. But you can purchase the course only if you're wanting to learn how to make landscape rugs. And we do have a package now that has 20 textures off our $5 wall, the pattern, and the course. We do have that available. So I just wanted to show you that before we go, because after January 25th, that will go up in price. So if you want it, and if you just want the course, join me as I hook this rug from start to finish. I'm also going to, I sewed it on my home frame today, and I'm going to hook it a different way so that you can hook from your stash if you want. So you don't have to, just to show people that you don't have to stick with these colors. You can mess around, do whatever you want. So that's it for me for today. Angela, do you have anything?
No, you left me alone again?
I left you alone again. That's it. She's getting used to being alone with you guys now. Do we have lots of people out today?
We do. We have over 437.
Oh, I'm glad you guys are here, and thank you for watching and listening and being a part of the studio life. We'll get this posted on our blog and on Facebook, and you know what I want you to do. I want you to share it, because when you share rug hooking, you just don't know what you're sharing with somebody. You could be giving them community, could be giving them friendship, could be giving them connection.
Like that lady that was in yesterday, she was so excited
about
her
so
rug.
Happy.
I know.
I know.
It was great.
I know. Her voice was elevated the whole time she was here. And there was another woman in this morning who watches our Thursday lives, and she said that she had just retired and she came up and wanted to get a rug hooking kit and was starting something new. So, you know, well, I think with rug hooking, the one thing about rug hooking is it brings us to ourselves. It brings us to our home, and to ourselves, and to our place in the world. So please share, and thank you. Thanks very much. See ya.
They're asking to see the square rugs.